I wanted to talk to you in your live, but you don't give me time. Since I'm not English speaker, I'm French speaker. But so maybe you will see that. You will see that video. Maybe I will try to explain to you in English. You say the Fulani are from ancient Ibro-Mauritian. Then you say they are from like the northern Africa, Morocco. You base that on some studies in the DNA, Fulani DNA. They find the Fulani DNA in the northern Africa, like everywhere. But that doesn't mean that the Fulani come from there. That only mean the people that was in North Africa come from the Fulani. Because I see your theory that you are pushing and making the Fulanis people that come from the north of Africa. I suppose that you don't really know where the Fulani are in Africa. And you are focused only in one group of Fulanis, this particular group, who is very little in the Fulani nation. And I hear you in your live saying that Fulani have nothing to do in the East Africa, with East Africa. That's not true. You don't know. You have to learn some. At this moment, right now, we are present in Eritrea, for example. We are called Toharir. See, the Fulani has many names according to where they are living. For example, in Congo, there are Fulanis there. Yeah, there was it is written about them since the 1960, since the independence of the country. They know that the Fulani is there, but they are not too much. So, and even in Congo, in the Kivu region, the Aboriginal people there are very close to Fulanis. They have the same scarification, and in their names, you see that the names and have roots in our language. Because your biggest problem is that you don't speak Fula language. You want to explain the story of people that you doesn't speak the language. That make a very difficult thing to do. These people, for example, are called Fuliru, Fula, Fuli. All this is the same people, the same name, and you can find even the name Futa in Congo Brazza. If that can help you, that is the real land of Fulanis right now. I'm talking. Yeah, the Fula are present in all this area. The people that claim to be Fulas, but there are other Fulanis that somewhere in the south or in the north that are lost now. But right now, it is the land of Fulanis. You have to understand that. And there are several Fulanis groups. The Moors come from the Fulani, but the Fulani are not more. If you say the Fulani are Fulani are Moors, you are reducing the Fulanis. If you say Fulani are Moors, you are reducing us. Because we are more than that. The Moors start in the state of Fouta Toro, between Mauritania and Senegal, more than Mauritania, in fact. The movement of Almorabitoun start there. It was Fulanis. Fulani move, they go and build Marrakesh, then enter in Europe. But even in Europe, I don't think you speak French, but I made a lot of videos where I explained that in Europe you can find a lot of proof that we was living here, and in the French language you can root it back to the Fula language, even the English language. And right now there are studies that come proving that the old English was spoke by the Gula people in America, for example, and the Gula people are very tied to Fulanis. But in Europe, like these people that you show, these people, Wodabe, The Wodabes are very tied to the have a big strong tie to the people, the Scandinavian people that was living in Ireland, in Norway, in Sweden. These people, they have the same in the mythology, all the name, like Odin, the god, the father of Thor. He was called Ward. When you say Wodabe, the root of the word is word, the same word, and they have the same type of knight. I say when you battle the knight, the knights. You see, I don't understand. I don't know if you will send, but there are a lot of proof. I even write a small paper about that. So the Fulanis are not Moors. We was not only in North Africa. We was everywhere in Africa. You can find our trust back everywhere in Africa. And something that you don't know, something that you may not know, is that a lot of the black people that you see in the south, like around the coast of Africa, are very new people in Africa. They came after the so-called mud flood. Everyone know that around 200 to 300 years before, something very destructive happened to the planet. So sometimes they say it was a mud flood or a reset. Anyway, but these people came after that phenomena. They came in the coast of Africa. If you check their numbers and the place where they are living, you will clearly see that these people are very new in Africa. When they say, for example, Bantu mean nothing, because they take around between 400 to 500 to 600 little ethnic groups that have each one of them his own language, his own story, his own mythology that are different from the other one. They put all of them under the name Bantu. When you say Mandengo, that's the same problem. When you say Igbo, the Yoruba have around 20 little groups, and some of Yoruba tribe are Fula in their origin. Some of the group tribe that are called Igbo today was Fulas in the origin. They know that. And the rest of the group, for example, the Yoruba, said in their own traditional story, they came from the Middle East. The Bantu, the main group of the Bantu is the Congos. The Congos, they speak the language that is called Lingala. But this language and the Kikongo, I think, is from the Greek language. That has been proved by the guy that is called Omotunde. I don't know if you know him, Omotunde, the one that died recently. But they speak a language derived that from the Greek language. So that shows us that there was there. For example, the kingdom of Congo, you see that kingdom in the books, but in the actual fact, there are no proof of that kingdom ever in Africa. The Mande Empire has never been in Africa. They manufacture a lot of story to legitimate their presence in the coast of Africa. All of them are around the coast, but in the past, the coast of Africa, there was no too much people there because it's not a good place to live. So the Hausa, they say themselves they came from Baghdad. The Wolof, they say they came from India, and so and so and so. You had to check more deeper in the story and try to speak the Fulani language. You will understand better. Yeah.